So in yesterday's Reds versus Dodgers game, TJ Friel hit his first career home run, and Dodgers right fielder Mookie Betts must have known that that was his first home run because he was whistling to the fan that caught the ball, and he actually got the ball back for TJ, and in exchange, Mookie Betts gave that fan an autographed bat. So all around amazing player Mookie Betts, and an even better human being. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. Thank you all so much for stopping by. If this is your first time on the channel, we do this every single day, so don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, as well as if you're going to any last minute baseball games, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. Shohei Ohtani probably locked up the MVP yesterday with 10 strikeouts against the Oakland Athletics. Gerrit Cole, speaking of awards, he might have lost the Cy Young Award, and he got booed by his own Yankee fans. That was definitely strange. And then we also have a cycle in San Francisco, but definitely one of the strangest cycles that I've ever seen, because he did it on 5 pitches. There was only one walk-off victory from yesterday, so let's go ahead and get that out the way. The Marlins faced off against the Pirates, and Miami was actually up 3-2 going into the 9th inning after Sandy Alcantara went 6, only allowed 1 earned run. But Hoy Park, just the day after he had a 2 RBI triple, he pulls a go-ahead bomb, only to have Brian De La Cruz. This rookie has been nutty for Miami so far, so this one has to go to extras after Brian ties it up, where Lewin Diaz, he blasts a walk-off moonshot as the Marlins take a 6-5 victory. I really like what Miami has done over the last few months with acquiring Brian De La Cruz. Lewin Diaz has been playing really well, along with Jesus Sanchez. Jesus Lazaro has been a little bit better, and then we have Alcantara, when you have Trevor Rogers, when you have all of their stud pitchers, and we're not even talking about Sixto Sanchez. I think the Marlins, they're shaping up to have a really good offseason if they can sign a few guys. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the title of today's video. Yes, Gerrit Cole got booed by his own fans yesterday, even though he has been carrying the Yankees on his back. And apparently the kryptonite for Gerrit Cole is a guy named Harold Ramirez, or as Cleveland calls him, Big Harold. He has a 2 RBI single in the first and then does it again in the 3rd inning, so 4 RBIs. It was almost a scary play between Brett Gardner and Aaron Judge out there in shallow center field. Roberto Perez even brings in a run, and fast forward to the 5th, J-Ram, he pimps a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. He's batting almost 500 in 22 games at Yankee Stadium. That was home run number 35 for the season, and he now has a 6.2 WAR. Berto hangs a 7 spot on Gerrit Cole as Eli Morgan, he went 6 shutout innings, did not allow a single walk to the Yankees. Good for him. He's really good one day and then not the best the next 2, but I really like his ceiling. Yu Chang and J-Ram, they drive in 3 more, and Cleveland ends up with 11 runs. And yeah, to end that little highlight reel of the Cleveland versus Yankees series, let's show Gerrit Cole getting booed. Why are you guys doing this? It's Gerrit Cole. He's been so good for the last 2 years.
Boy, tough crowd.
Gerrit Cole leaves and gets booed. Gee, he's been carrying this team all year.
What's wrong with you people?
Moving on over to the Jays versus the Twins. I have no idea how Josh Donaldson was able to put this ball in play, but he allows Marcus Semien to have the opportunity to make a web gem, and he completes it. Vladdy Jr. now has 105 RBIs, and Bo Bichette, he wants some respect on his name as well. 26 home runs, 22 stolen bases, 97 RBIs, and a 121 OPS plus. The Jays put up 5 runs in the 1st inning, and it was capped off by Lourdes Gurriel and Valera, a few singles. Valera was robbed by Byron Buxton later on in the game. He is so much fun to watch. And the Twins, they actually grabbed 3 earned runs off of their former buddy Jose Barrios, but the Jays bullpen, I can't believe I've been saying this more often, they hold it, and the Jays have won 15 out of their last 18 games, and they are in the thick of things in the wild card. And same with the Boston Red Sox. They had a must-win game against the Orioles yesterday. Bobby Dahlbeck, he starts off the scoring by getting hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, and Plawecki, he knocks in a pair, as Kike Hernandez, his double later on in the 2nd inning makes it 4-0. Austin Hayes, his single in the 3rd brings it to a 4-3 game, but then JD Martinez answers, and the score stays 5-3 going into the 7th inning when Trey Mancini, he clears the bases, the comeback player of the year. He takes the lead back for Baltimore, but then Kike, his 2nd RBI ties it up, and Hunter Renfroe gives the Boston Red Sox a lead, and then Devers adds an insurance run as Garrett Richards now has 3 saves on the year. He has been nasty as a relief pitcher. I mean, heck, he might have even stolen the closer spot from Ottavino or Matt Barnes. I honestly would consider Gerrit as going forward because his sinker and his slider, they're devastating, especially when you only require him to pitch 1 or 2 innings. Shohei Ohtani was pretty good yesterday aside from these 2 home runs from Yan Gomes and Matt Chapman. Just Frankie Montas was so good. He was dominating through 7 innings of shutout baseball, 7 strikeouts, only 1 base hit. That was a double to Brandon Marsh earlier on in the game. Shohei, he ties his longest start of his career going 8 innings, does allow those 2 earned runs, but he had 10 strikeouts, so in my opinion, I think that he secured the MVP. A lot of people have been shifting the conversation of Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and while I think that Vladdy is going to win the Hank Aaron Award, the best offensive player in baseball, I think the MVP is still Shohei Ohtani because he's 9-2 with a 3.28 ERA, 146 strikeouts in 120 innings, and his WAR is back up to 8.1. The Halos don't score any for Shohei, but they do score, of course, after he leaves the game, 2 in the 9th inning to tie it up, but the A's grabbed their 5th win in a row in extra innings. That was a big-time W as they are going for a playoff push, along with the Mariners, who got a huge W and a big-time performance from Jarred Kelenic, who found a hole for 2 RBIs on a double in the 1st inning. Ty France, he continues his breakout season with an RBI in the 3rd, and Kelenic goes 420 feet. That was a far home. Oh my God. Jake Bauers, he went 40 feet further than Jarred Kelenic. This one was 460 off the bat. Dylan Moore makes it 6-0, and the future is now for the Mariners as Kelenic and Logan Gilbert might have turned in their best performances as a big leaguer in the same game. Gilbert goes 7 innings with 5 strikeouts, only allows 3 hits on 1 walk. Mitch Haniger now has 34 home runs. So the wild card in the American League, it is exactly that. It is wild. The Boston Red Sox are 1 game ahead of the Jays for 1st place. The Yankees fall twice to the Cleveland baseball team, and they fall to 1.5 game back of 2nd place. The A's are 2 games back, and the Mariners are 4 games back. And Joey Gallo should be back in the lineup today in their series versus the Rangers. So maybe Joey's going to play with some extra motivation now that he's back in his kind of home ballpark in Texas. They have to win. They have to sweep the Rangers. I'm saying that right now. Speaking of sweeps, the Cardinals swept the Padres after Dylan Carlson robbed Fernando Tatis earlier in the game. And speaking of Tatis, he dropped a can of corn in center field. Edmundo Sosa, he capitalizes with 2 RBIs, and then Bader does the same. So they drive in 4 RBIs between both of those guys. That caps off a 5-run 1st inning. Now the Padres, they do score a few, but St. Louis gets 2 in the 5th inning, and Dylan Carlson scores for a big 8th run as the Padres come back to make it a 1-run game. But they are in fact swept. The Cardinals have won 8 games in a row, while the Padres are 3.5 games back with the wild card. We'll talk about the standings in just a moment. The Dodgers versus the Reds. Will Smith blast off for his 25th home run. Gavin Lux goes lefty-lefty off of Wade Miley, who was having a pretty good season up until the last 2 or 3 starts. Seager joins in on the home run parade for his 10th home run, and Lux, he now has 8 RBIs in his last 8 games and is hitting .460 since returning from the injured list. Kershaw was solid, 8 strikeouts, only 1 earned run in 5 innings. And like we mentioned, TJ Friel, he had that first career home run, and Mookie got the ball back. Joey Votto, he goes yard, but the Reds lose yet again. Now, luckily, the Padres lost. But honestly, a lot of these teams that are going for the final spot in the National League, they have been playing very pitiful baseball as of late. And I just don't know if they're going to be able to compete even if they make the playoffs, talking about the Padres and the Reds. Or even a team like the Braves, who did beat the Giants yesterday. Eddie Rosario had himself a day. He had a few extra base hits to start the game. Yes, I'm kind of hinting at something, but he couldn't score. Max Fried, he was out there throwing darts, 6 shutout innings, but of course got 0 run support until Adam Duvall crushes a 2-run shot off of Desclafani, and then Rosario, he goes yard as well. So yeah, the double, the triple, the home run, all he needs is a single, and he got it, and he did it on 5 pitches. So he was pretty much just first pitch swinging the entire day. So the Braves, they're 4-6 in their last 10. So like I've mentioned, the Padres, the Reds, and the Braves, they've not been playing the best as of late, but they do pick up this W against a really good Giants team. So they need the Phillies to lose, and that's exactly what happened. Even though Bryce Harper was flying around the bases, he was pumped up after being brought in by JT Realmuto on an RBI double. Harper makes it a 2-0 lead after a sac fly in the 5th, and Kyle Gibson had a shutout until he got into some trouble in the 5th as 2 get on, and pinch hitter Dom Smith delivers with a 2 RBI double. McNeil, he's having a down year, but this ball got up, so the Mets take a 3-2 lead, and Harper, he keeps it close on a web gem over in right right field. And staying with Harper, he missed the barrel by a millimeter. He barely missed the home run. I mean, Harper cannot do it all. I mean, if you really think he's going to go 3 for 3 every single game, it's just not going to happen. So the wild card in the National League, the Cardinals are 3 games ahead for second place. The Reds are 3 games back, while the Phillies and the Padres are tied at 3.5 games back. And staying with the standings, the Dodgers are just 1 game back of first place in the NL West, and this is going to be huge because then they are guaranteed a 3-game series in the playoffs instead of a crazy 1-game wild card where anything can happen. So Giants versus the Dodgers, the AL wild card, the NL wild card, it's pure madness. All right, let's talk about the other games that didn't really mean anything. We're going to go through them a little bit quick. Trayce Thompson, he is back in professional baseball. Of course, he is the brother of Klay Thompson. He was a big-time fan favorite back in the day for the Dodgers. The Cubs go down 2-1, but Matt Duffy, he ties it in the 8th, and Frank Schwindel doubles in Matt Duffy right before Patrick Wisdom goes yard. A 3-run bomb is 27th on the year, so he passes Chris Bryant for the most home runs as a rookie for any Chicago Cub. Wisdom versus India versus Trevor Rogers, who is going to win the NL Rookie of the Year. The Nationals shut out the Rockies yesterday. Yadiel Hernandez singles and Escobar, and Soto hit a big boy home run, 455 feet. Soto has a .525 on base percentage in the second half. That is Barry Bonds-like. Paulo Espino, he picks apart the Rockies. He has 7 strikeouts in just under 6 shutout innings. And Kyle Finnegan, he induces a double play to end it on his 10th save after a horrible last few weeks. The Astros versus the Diamondbacks, a very close game. Carlos Correa smacks a 3-run shot for his 24th home run. He almost has a 7 WAR on the season. He's going to get paid so much money. 3-0. The Astros are up, but then the Arizona Diamondbacks, like they've done all year, they make it a close one. Pavin hits a home run, and then Arizona scores 4 in the 4th to take a 5-3 lead. Now the score ends up 6-4 after the 5th when Jose Siri, he pimps this one. He bat flips for a game-tying home run, and Chas McCormick goes back-to-back as Ryan Presley picks up his 25th save after striking out the side. I would not want to face the Astros in the playoffs. The White Sox versus the Rangers, a very easy game to recap. Yasmani now has 22 home runs and is sitting at a 159 OPS plus. Cesar Hernandez and Jose Abreu, they both drive in 2 runs apiece on a few singles, and Jose Abreu is now up to 113 RBIs. Lucas Giolito only allowed 1 earned run. He has been fantastic in the second half, and Lurie Garcia, he knocks in 2 more as the White Sox magic number is now 4 games. The Tigers versus the Rays. The Tigers scored 2 and the Rays scored 0. Eric Haas, please come back to Cleveland. I don't know why we traded him for, pretty much peanuts. We traded him for cash considerations. He has 22 home runs and a 2 WAR in 88 games. Jamir Candelario throws out Brandon Lau in the 5th as Dustin Garneau hit his 6th home run in the last 11 games. He had 9 home runs in his first 140 games. He's a defense first catcher. More on him later. Willie Peralta, the 32-year-old phenom, goes 7 shutout innings, only allows 3 base hits. And like I mentioned, Dustin Garneau, he is a defense first catcher. He throws out Kevin Kiermaier in the 8th inning as the Rays lose another series to the Tigers. The Rays fall to 4-6 in their last 10 games, and they are going to get some help today from their number 1 prospect, Shane Baz. So he is starting today, I believe, versus the Jays. I could be wrong, but if it is Rays versus Jays, one of the biggest series of the year. All right, everyone, well, that does it for today's MLB recap. If you enjoyed or learned something new, leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to save yourself $20 off on SeatGeek using code Fuzzy and enjoy this day in MLB history. Thanks for watching, everyone. And also, I shaved because I have a wedding in like 5 days, and I was looking a little bit weird. So, yeah, but we are down 32 pounds, so I'm getting there.
Fly ball, right field. Pence back. Track. Wall. See ya. A grand slam for A-Rod. A record-breaking 24th grand slam. And the Yankees lead 5-1.